Hello everyone, it is Abby and Patriot, and today I'm going to teach you how to clean and proper care of your little whistle. So, first thing you need to know is, you always clean your whistle after you've done playing it. Don't go, oh, I'll clean that in a few minutes, because you could forget, or also, it's best when you clean it right off the bat when it's still warm, because otherwise all the stuff that's in it will harden onto it and be a lot harder to clean. So if you don't warm it up or clean it right away, then at least warm it up and then clean it, but always clean it after you play. So the first thing you want to clean is the mouthpiece, because this will get a little line of goobers where your lip goes right here. It'll get this little line of goop and it will harden very quickly. So if you want to keep your mouthpiece nice and clean, always clean it right after you're done playing. That's what I always clean first of all. And I just take this nice big fluffy microfiber cloth and I just wipe down the mouthpiece, make sure I get all around the entire, all down here in these little crevices, everywhere on the mouthpiece, like so. And then you're also going to make sure you get this top hole good and dry as best as you can. And then just overall I dry the outside of the whistle, like so. So my whistle conveniently splits in half. Not all do, so if not, you'll just have to get a longer dowel to clean up in there. And so what I do next, after I've cleaned the mouthpiece, is I'll take the cloth and I'll stick my finger in it, and then I'll just wipe the very entrance points, like this side and this side, and I'll just wipe it till the moisture's out. And on this side, mine has a brass joint, so I don't like to touch the brass because it'll get not shiny anymore. And also, I'll show you in a minute, don't wipe off this part unless, you shouldn't really have moisture on the brass part. So try not to wipe that. If there's moisture there, definitely do, but I'll show you why in a minute you shouldn't wipe it. So I'll do that, and then I'll take this dowel, and I'll take my cloth, and grab a corner, and then I'll just fold the microfiber cloth around my dowel, like so. And then I'll just stick it up the end to where it goes. I want to look at the holes and see, does it go at least halfway? Can I see it in at least 3 of the holes? Because you want to make sure you're hitting the same point from the top and the bottom when you do this. So once you get it a good bit up, then you're just going to swirl it in circles and rub it up and down until it is dry in there. And if your whistle's really wet, you might have to change the corner of your cloth when you change sides. Mine isn't terribly wet right now, so I'm not going to. And then you can stick it up the other, I should stick it up the other end and do the same exact thing, like so, until it's nice and dry. And then we're going to do the same method on the top. And I always clean the bottom half. I clean the mouthpiece, then the bottom half, then the top half, because the bottom half cools down a lot quicker because it's not as warm, because this has more air going straight through it, because a lot of the air actually passes out this hole, so this is the warmest part of the whistle. So I let this go last because it's going to be warmer in the end and easiest to clean, so I let it go to last. So again, I stick my finger up in there and I rub it around, and then I take my cloth like so, and I stick my dowel up there, and then I stick it up and rub it around. And you don't have to use microfiber cloth. You can use a handkerchief or whatever you have laying around. I like the microfiber cloths because they're nice and fluffy, and they snugly fit. I think this is a 14-inch, and it really snugly fits into the whistle, which means it gets a really, really good clean. And so I really like that. So that is how we clean it. And some people rinse theirs off. I really don't like to rinse metal whistles because so much water can get in all the little spots. It can be hard to really get it dry. And so as long as you clean your whistle every time you play it, you should not need to rinse it off. So every time you're done playing, clean it off. And the other thing you should know about clean and care is cork grease. So if yours splits in half, there's this joint, and mine's made out of brass, and it can get stiff sometimes when you stick the two together. It'll just be really stiff. So what we do to fix this problem is cork grease. And cork grease comes in this It can come in all sorts of manners, but I get it in this little thing, just like a chapstick thing. And I got it for like $2 at my local music shop. People use it for clarinets and stuff, so it does not have to be made for a low whistle. I just got mine in the brass section of my local music store. So this stuff, and so what we do with it is we take our lid off, and then we push it out till we get the cork grease coming out. And then on this brass part, remember, you don't want to touch it. You're just going to rub. You don't need a ton, just swipe it. Swipe it down it a few times till you get a nice little amount on there. And then you close it back up and put it away. And then what we do is I like to use a Q-tip. You can use your cleaning cloth, but if you do, I like to wash mine if I use it for cork grease, because I don't want to rub the cork grease all around on the whistle when I'm cleaning it after I've done this. So I like Q-tips, so I take the Q-tip and you're just gonna rub it all around until the cork grease like totally is on every little spot. Make sure you get the edges really good. A lot oftentimes gets neglected. So just, you know, rub it. You can switch sides if you need to until all the grease is completely worked, spread out. And now, we take our top and if I can put it, we fit it back together and smooth, super nice joint. So that is how we cork grease it. And again, it's cork grease, and I'll link that in the description below so that you can find it. And it's super easy to find at your local store, super cheap, super convenient, and I really like it in the little chapstick like tube, because then I don't have to like stick my fingers down in there and then I like the chapstick tube. So the last thing you need to know is storage. So mine is an MK Pro, and MK Pro sells theirs with this nice felt case with a Velcro top. It's really convenient, and the whistle just slips right in there, and then you close it. And it's really nice because it protects it. I mean, it's not super protective, it's just felt. But what I really like about it is felt collects moisture. So when you're done playing, you should clean it out. And then when you put it in your nice little felt case, the felt will draw out any extra moisture that is in the whistle. So I always clean it and then put it back in the case, and it stays nice and dry and protected. And if you don't have a felt case, that's fine. You can just use any kind of fabric that you know is gonna, like, you know, not collect, like, you don't want to use plastic and stuff like that because that won't draw any moisture out. So just a nice fabric, okay? And and always store it in here to keep it protected. And you should make sure you store it in one piece, because if you store it in two pieces, if one side gets dropped or for whatever reason a side gets warped, they won't fit back together. But if you store it together and it gets dropped or warped, then they'll still work with each other because it happened when they were together. But if they're separate, you can damage it to where the two sides will not fit back together. So MK Pro, which is where I got this whistle, recommends always storing it together. So that is what you need to know for care and clean of your low whistle. And so yeah, make sure you clean it out every time you play it and keep it stored safely. And again, I'll link the cork grease below so you can find it. So have a great week, and we will see you next week. Abby and Patriot, say bye.